Okay, guys, what is up? It is the second episode of Inside the LPGA podcast. Welcome, everybody. Whether you're listening or watching, thank you for tuning in. I'm Hope Arnett. I am a host and reporter of the LPGA, but enough about me and enough about hearing my voice. Let's get to the real stars of the show, Miss Emma Talley and Mr. Adam Stanley. Yeah! Guys, how's it going today? Emma, how's it going?
I'll be honest with you guys. I am just a traveling bee right now. I was at Wilshire last week. I had a big week, and then I flew last night to Seattle for my U.S. Open qualifier today. So then fly on Wednesday to Tucson for the Epson Tour event. So living the grind life out here on the LPGA Tour.
Seriously. Adam, how's it going? Where are you at? Are you at home?
It's going well, thank you. Yes, I'm at home. Springtime is pretty much sprung here in Canada, thankfully, finally, which is great. It seemed like it was a long winter, so we're ready for golf. Most golf courses are open now, which is awesome, and yeah, things are we're turning a nice corner here finally. And shout out to all the listeners for episode number 1. I think we got to give them a little bit of a recognition.
Yeah.
You know, this was a little bit of a launch project for us all, but we're excited to get this rocking and rolling, and obviously a ton of great stuff on the LPGA Tour from now until the end of the year. So we can't wait to be along for the ride for all of it.
Woohoo!
So last time we talked, it was the week of the Chevron Championship. Before things got started, my cat is about to jump up in my lap.
That's okay. Meow.
Okay, that's fine. Hello, he's in my lap now. So before things really got started, and as most of you probably already know, Nelly won. She is a freaking beast of a person. It is insane. You did.
I was gonna say you did a little dance number as well. Like it was excellent.
Yeah.
It was.
She's impressive. I mean, I'm sure. And the thing is now she's going to have 2 weeks off. So I feel like there is another chance.
Oh yeah. I honestly could see it happening, but we'll get to that in a minute. So now that the Chevron Championship is complete, which was a crazy week, a really good week of golf, then the tour headed to LA for the JM Eagle LA Championship, and like Emma said, she was there. It was a good week. Hannah Green won. But before we get into all of those things, because those are the things we are going to discuss amongst other stuff, we have to do our Slay of the Week. Adam, what's your Slay of the Week?
Well, I gotta give a Slay of the Week shout out to Rory McIlroy, because I don't know if you guys saw, but like that video of him singing "Don't Stop Believin'" after him and Shane Lowry won on the PGA Tour, I just thought it was absolutely hilarious. You know, obviously we had he had won on the DP World Tour earlier on in the year, but yeah, just a lot of fun. And I think that that's what golf is all about. And just to see them kind of let loose, I thought that was hilarious. And that got me thinking, like, what is your go-to karaoke song, the two of you? Like, I haven't done karaoke in like a long time, and most of my like musical stylings are like row, row, row your boat and like twinkle, twinkle, little star these days with my 18-month-old. But go-to karaoke song real quick. What do you guys like to pick?
Baby, baby, baby. Ooh. Oh, like baby, baby.
J. Beebs.
No.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't want to interrupt and like identify who it was, because Emma, you just took it. I would have to go
Justin Bieber or like Britney Spears. Like, oops, I did it again.
Wow.
Yeah, I'd have to go J. Beebs or Britney Spears.
Yeah. You have to get songs that like everyone else is going to love as well. You know, that's like part of the deal. Also, my cat, I need to kick him off. He's just cleaning himself right now. Anyways, my karaoke song is Shania Twain, Man, I Feel Like a Woman.
Oh, yes. Great one. Man, I feel like a woman.
Feel like a woman.
I don't know why I did my low voice. Let's go, girls.
Once that hits, like, no matter who you are, like, that's a certified banger. And can we just very quickly say that both Emma, you and Hope both picked Canadian artists for your go-to karaoke songs, the Biebs and Shania. So
I pretty much like Canadians.
Excellent.
I've realized that. I'm a Canadian girl. Like, everybody I love is from Canada. I'm like, or Australia or New Zealand or basically non-American, which is terrible to say, but it's true.
Yeah.
Like all my favorite
So you hate me, basically.
Yeah.
and
The
myself.
heart of Texas. Yeah.
Yeah, true.
But
Hate yourself.
we got
Yeah.
country music still, and
Yeah.
most of all
Yeah.
those people are
Kentucky.
American.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
There
Okay,
you go.
Emma, what's your slay of the week?
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna take a long time on this, y'all, because no, my golf score did not look good last week. I was pretty nervous actually going into the round, which was weird because I haven't been nervous, but I haven't played in a month either. So my dad kept saying, like, Emma, you need to give yourself some grace because I think you were just a little rusty. I had 9 3-putts in 27 holes. So anyways, that's not my slay of the week. What my slay of the week is that my dad was on my bag caddy, and it was kind of a full circle
Aw.
moment for us because we won the USAM together. My best finish in the British Open is actually with my dad as an amateur, so that's pretty cool. So we had the best time together. I also did the IndyCar race the Sunday before.
That looks so sick.
That looked so
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, I did the 2-seater. I got to meet 3 of the drivers for Andretti, which was so fun. It was just a cool experience. Like I got to wear the headset while Colton was actually racing, and I got to hear like what him and his team were talking about through the race, which I don't think many people get to do. And I got to stand in the little booth, and there were lots of numbers which I didn't understand, but it's amazing like how those guys train and like what they're doing and just the whole thing. And also I thought it was pretty cool, like the fan experience you get in IndyCar. Like an hour before the race, he's out there talking to all these people, and everyone can go up and look at the car. And it was just a really cool experience. And then I got to see my sponsors. We went to this fancy steakhouse, Surf Pro, what up? And then that was really fun. Live music. I forgot what it was called, but like Bougie Kentucky Girl did not. I was not used to something like that, but it was really cool. And then
What was the order? What was on the plate there?
I
Emma?
got a petite filet because I'm so petite, not. And I got we all got lobster bisque, which was amazing. And then the sides were shareable. So I think we got like Brussels, scallop potatoes, and something else. And they like serve it on your plate for you. Like you don't touch it.
So
They
you're
do
not
it for
going
you.
like
So bougie.
So bougie.
You're not lifting a finger
No,
except to eat.
it was nuts. What was yours,
that.
Hope?
My slay of the week, well, I think I said this last time, but again, I'm still in Texas. I still haven't gone back to Florida.
Texas. Yeah.
Still in good old Texas. But I am getting to spend a lot of time with my nephews, which has been really fun. My nephew was in like a little parade for his daycare, and like right out of the gates, he came out and just like face planted. So that's not a slay, but the slay is that he recovered, he rallied, and he kept going. And then getting to spend time with my family. Second slay is that I'm going back to Nelly really quick. And she just posted a picture. She was at like an animal shelter. And I thought that was so cool. She's a great golfer and she's charitable. What the heck?
I know. She's
So, yeah. Yeah. So adopt, don't shop.
Yes.
Just kidding. I mean, I want like a Bernie doodle one day, so that would be shopping. But I did find my cat under a car, so adopt. Yeah.
Both. Whatever hits.
Whatever floats your boat.
Yeah, making a difference in the world, that's what it's all about.
Exactly.
There we go.
It is.
That's important.
I like that. We got to move on to golf. This is the LPGA Tour podcast, so I guess we can talk about that. But let's actually start off talking. I want to talk about the Chevron Championship first. Nelly just dominated.
As I say, that's all we have to say. Nelly.
Yeah, like Nelly.
Should we just move on?
Yeah, like we're good. That's all we
think
need
we're
to
good.
talk about.
5 in a row. I mean,
5 in a row.
Five in a row.
Yeah, in a major.
And I think the unique thing too, we kind of talked about this in number one, and Emma, I'm curious to know about from the player perspective, but like the way that she keeps winning at different golf courses. Obviously, there was the match play in there too. She wins a major championship. Like can you tell us more about like the mental kind of reset every single week to have to go do
It's
this and do it
insane.
at different places?
It's absolutely insane. Like, I don't think people realize how insane it is. Like I said before, it's one thing to win one time, it's one thing to win twice, but to win 5 times in a row. And what I think is also interesting about her wins, if you look, like, it's not like she was in first place on the first day or first place on the second day. She just like is playing very consistent golf, and it's causing I'm assuming, I haven't looked, I should have looked before this. I'm assuming that all of her rounds have been under par in all these rounds, which is also insane. She obviously has a beautiful golf swing. Everyone loves it. It's iconic. I guess that's our word of this like podcast is iconic. We say that all the time. But
We do.
like what she's doing is insane. I'm really excited to see how she plays at Founders because like I believe that it's really hard to take off 1 week. It's way better to take off 2 weeks. And because she withdrew at Wilshire, she's going to have 2 weeks. So the first week she can go to the animal shelter. She can go to the beach. And then the second week she's going to be able to practice and prepare again. So I'm very interested to see how this is. I would think that the pressure, not necessarily pressure, but I'm assuming like it's all starting to click in her head as well. Like, you know, she's like, oh, I'm on a run now. Like, is that going to factor into like the next tournament of her like, oh, I'm supposed to win again? Or will she be able to mentally recoup and just do what she's doing? Because I think that's going to be hard going into Founders.
So Nelly joined the likes of Annika and Nancy Lopez to win 5 consecutive events and 5 consecutive starts. That hasn't been done since 1978. She is doing crazy things, not just for women's golf, but for golf in general. Like you see her name everywhere alongside Scotty Scheffler's name, you know, like 2 Americans just doing world #1 things. Adam, from your perspective, what do you think she is doing like for the game right now? Because it's huge.
I think the important thing from sort of a women's sports perspective as it relates to, you know, the fact that there is women's golf and men's golf and it's going on at the same time and these just absolutely magical runs are happening by 2 individuals, there's almost a shareable promotion that can continue to happen. So it's like, I want to tune in to the LPGA Tour for the first time because I want to see if someone can make history. And I think the fact that there is this individual that is doing something that hasn't been done in 4 decades, that is approachable, you know, goes to the beach, goes to the animal shelters, like does these things that regular old people, goes to the coffee shops, like enjoys almond croissants. Like you can kind of go down the list of like what Nelly Korda like is and does. Hey, now it's like it's just there, and I happen to adore almond croissants as well. So I was like, oh, Nelly, almond croissants. I'll give you the best one in Calgary when you come to CPKC. Yes. But anyways, the long and the short of it is that there's somebody that's doing something that we haven't seen in almost a half century. And the fact is, people are going to tune in to try to see if she can keep it going. And even if she doesn't win at Founders, I think that there's now a hook on an individual and a superstar that will hopefully kind of trickle down or echo itself out to make people want to continue to tune in to watch more LPGA Tour golf, especially with Nelly defending her gold medal later on this year and with 4 majors still. So, you know, Hope, to your point, I think it's been absolutely fabulous, and as we kind of inch ever closer to kind of the busy season with the Olympics, with the Solheim Cup, and etc., you look at somebody that's being not only a star, but a superstar, doing things that nobody has done in a long, long time, and it's just encouraging people to want to tune in to see how much history she can make.
Did you guys see, too, that I reposted on my Instagram, but like the Sunday of Chevron was the most watched LPGA or PGA Tour event, and like I forgot what the number exactly was, but it was insane. So, like, it's almost like the Caitlin Clark effect where, like, people are wanting to tune in because of how big of a superstar she is right now. So I think, like, for women's golf, too, I think, you know, we're finally getting recognized because we have a superstar. And I think it's just so good for women's golf. She's really put us on a new platform, and we love you, Nelly.
We do. I think the viewership peaked at like 1.9 million.
That's awesome.
So that's so cool.
We got to put a pin on that and talking about her jump, her leap into the pond.
Yes.
She did it. She cannonballed. What'd you think? You were there, Hope. How would you rate the cannonball?
Oh, I rated it a 10 out of 10. Are you kidding me? I love that she did a different kind of jump, and everyone like around the green was like, is she gonna do it? Is she gonna do it? Like no one really knew. And then she came out and, you know, she was doing like the post-round interview and she was like, heck yeah, I'm gonna jump into the pond. So I thought that was awesome.
She's really great.
Heck to the yeah.
So 10 out of 10 for me. Awesome. But what do y'all give it?
Yeah, of course. 10 out of 10.
I think so.
Yeah, I mean,
10,
she deserves
has
it.
to be. Yeah. but from 5 in a row to 2 in a row. Hannah Green back to back
I know.
at Wilshire. What Emma, you played.
so much
What does
to
it take
say.
to have? Okay, what does it take to have
hear it.
success at that golf course, Emma? And why do you think Hannah has played it so well?
Hope actually sent us, and I'm sure she's going to tell us some KPMG stats in a minute. But when I read the stat on her and what she's done, only 3 people have beaten her in the last 4 years at that golf course. I think that's pretty incredible. Like, I think one thing for me that stood out as a player, and she's done this a couple times. The week before she won the KPMG championship, she missed the cut, and then she won the next week. She missed the cut at Chevron and won Wilshire. And from a player perspective, there's not many players that can do that. They can't recover fast enough because they're still worried about why they missed the cut the week before. And from my point of view, like, she's a great player, and I think she's just one of those people, if you know her, she's so chill and relaxed and just like go with the flow. And I talked to her on Tuesday and Wednesday, and she's just a good player. And I think you have to be very your irons have to be very tight, your proximity. And obviously the putting is kind of like iffy, but I think maybe because she's so chill, she can get over those putts she misses quicker than like what other people can.
She just moves on.
She moves on. She's such a chill person, and I'm just really happy for her. I think she's just been playing so well. She got married, and she's just been killing it this year. So
I know.
I love that for her. And her caddy and her have been together since she turned pro out here. And I think that goes a long way too. Like, you miss a cut, who cares? Like, your caddy doesn't care. He understands, and you move on. And I think that comfort probably helps too when you have someone in your bag that long. You just go to the next tournament. You just move on and you play again, and you see how good you can play. And obviously she has a lot of great memories at that golf course. I think you said, Hope, she's finished like tied third, tied second, first. Like, WTF.
Like crazy. Yeah.
It's
like,
crazy.
She better play in that tournament the rest of her life, as long as she can.
Emma, quick shout out. Hannah's caddy, Nate, also Canadian. Again,
he's one of our best friends.
Yeah.
Aw.
Me and Nate go way back. He was like my best friend when I turned pro and out here on Semester Tour. And then my husband and him are best friends. So, yeah.
Fabulous.
We're
good.
Nate.
Love that.
I say Nader. I text
Nate
him.
dog.
Like, Nader. Yeah, Nate dog. Like, so happy for him. And, like, he's about to get married, so that's not a bad check. His fiance's bachelorette party was this week, so I texted her and
Oh
was
my
like,
God, that's awesome.
well, he made the money, so you could spend it.
Do whatever you want.
Yeah. So anyway,
Wow.
so cute.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
Nice.
very cute.
Very nice.
You forget about the
Good
caddies,
week.
right? Like, it's their job at the end of the day too. So very cool.
Adam, I know you kind of wanted to talk about Grace Kim a little bit. She was leading after the first 2 rounds, fellow Australian. But one thing I love about the Australians especially is they support each other so much.
It gives me chills.
So yeah, I know. I just think it's so wholesome. I love it. So
She was the first one. She was the first one up on the green after Hannah won. That's sportsmanship and love. Yeah.
She stuck around. Yeah, it was, the last thing, I guess, as we kind of look back before we start looking ahead to Founders and kind of pushing the ball down the field a little bit here. I was curious, Emma, when you look at someone like Grace, who was pretty far ahead through 36 holes, and she obviously played, disappointingly over the weekend. She's going to take away a lot of learnings from a week like what she had at Wilshire. But for you, like, to have been in the mix and then to play so poorly and then to have to just kind of reset yourself and realize that's just golf. Things like this happen. We've got another week ahead, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Like, I think to your guys' point, like, Grace was right there. They played in the final group together. She was the first with the big hug, first with the water shower. I could go on and on, but when it comes back to her being an individual and trying to apply the learnings from that week when she was so far ahead to struggling, Emma, what do you think the key for her would be when she tees it up again?
I hate to say it like this, but I'm so glad she has a week off, because that's going to take a toll on her. She's a great player. She's young, and she won last year in Hawaii. And I think she has a great caddy right now, Drew, Austin Ernst's brother and old caddy. And I think just her team around her, the Australians, like you said, they all support each other. They're all going to be telling her positive things and encouraging things. And I think that's all you can do is take the good and move on. it was really sad to watch. I saw her Instagram. She said on 13 she started crying because it was like the moment that she realized she wasn't in contention anymore. And so it just makes me sad for her because I know that obviously you want to win so bad. But she'll learn from this. Like I said, she's so young that this is just going to be one thing that's happened in her career to make her better. We all have moments of just like, we're just like that we feel just like the way last year for me when I knew I was going to lose my card. It's like the worst feeling. It's like, you don't even, you have to, it's almost like 6 months later, she'll realize why this happened to her. Maybe it's the US Open. We're close to the US Open. Maybe it's the Olympics. Maybe it's, who knows what the next chance she'll be in that position again, but maybe she can take away something and just, I'm glad she has a week off. Let's put it that way. I'm glad she has a week off.
Got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great insights. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of insights, Emma, you already kind of talked about KPMG performance insights, but I want to actually just read off these two insane stats.
Insane.
So Hannah has shot under par in all 16 of her rounds played at this golf course in the last 4 years. She has hit more than 80% of her greens in regulation in that span.
Dialed.
80.
That is
And the greens
wild.
are small and bouncy.
She has faced a combined total of 572 opponents at Wilshire the last 4 years. So she's finished T3, second, first, and first. So only 3 players have beaten her on this golf course in those tournaments combined. Her and LA, they're
vibing.
besties.
They are besties. You know what though? Like
Best
I love
actor
that
in a
golf
leading
course
role.
too. Like that golf course.
Yeah.
I love that golf course, and I think if you get on a golf course you love, there's nothing better. So she obviously has some good mojo there.
Another person we have to talk about quickly is Maja Stark,
Oh.
who will be joining us here in just a second.
Yay.
But she has finished solo second the last 2 weeks, one being a major championship and one being here in LA. So let's have her on and kind of chat about what she's been doing.
Woohoo!
All right, everybody, please welcome Maja Stark into the podcast. Woo! Go, Maja. Maja, first of all, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
What is working so well for you right now? I talked to you at the beginning of the year at Hilton, and you said you were just kind of trying to change your mindset. So do you kind of attribute that to it, or like what is going on? Like what's in the water right now for Maja Stark?
I don't know. Because it feels like I've been doing the same thing. It's just all of a sudden the putts drop. I make the up and downs for once, and then, but I think I don't get as frustrated.
For once.
Yeah, honestly, for once. Because putting has always been my bad side, but now it's actually becoming like almost the best part of my game. So
Yeah.
maybe it's that. I don't really notice it that much. I don't know.
Unsure.
Are you a leaderboard watcher? Like, do you know where you stand?
Yeah, usually not on the final day. I try to not look, but then I heard a couple roars, so I had to look yesterday. I
I
mean,
knew.
Yeah.
yeah,
Maya, is golf fun for you right now?
yeah, it's pretty great. Yeah, I've always liked it, but then, yeah, when it goes like this, obviously that just makes it way better.
Okay, Maja. So you're a leaderboard watcher on Sunday. Yesterday you heard some roars. You've had back-to-back second places. You say that like it all feels normal, but it's just putting's a little better. I wanted you to talk to us like about your journey. I feel like too many people just see like the second place, but they don't see the journey. Even from like the national team and college. Like, tell us a little bit about you. Like, I feel like you're new. You're kind of new on the LPGA Tour. So, like, tell us about that.
Yeah, so I played as mostly soccer growing up, and then table tennis, and golf was always kind of the second or third sport. And then I quit both soccer and table tennis, and my mom was like, well, you got to do something to like stay active. And then I was like, okay, I guess I'll play a little bit more golf. And then I didn't really have any plans for that to be my thing, but then all of a sudden, like kind of overnight, I became way better. So in 2015, I won a couple of big tournaments, and then I got into like the future national team. So I got to like spend time with the national team coaches and a lot of other girls my age, and that was fantastic. And then got into a great golf high school, and got into the national team, and then kind of just stayed there. Went directly from the girls national team to the ladies national team. Yeah, then started college. But the thing was, I was never really good. Like I was always kind of the worst person on the national teams. Like
Interesting.
yeah, it was a really good national team. Like they were winning everything. I just wasn't winning anything. So it felt like I was miles behind the rest of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, we all played in the Junior Solheim Cup when I was 17. So it was a strong team, but I was always like the
Yeah.
last one. So then I started college and started winning some tournaments. And then I thought, man, I'm getting good at this pretty quick. And I was like trying to see why. And I think it was just so much with the teammates and the team environment, and that we just always hung out at the golf course. And yeah, I never really had plans on staying all 4 years at school. That felt like a little bit much. I had already done an extra year in high school, just for golf's sake. So I was done with that, and then yeah, turned pro.
How did you decide on Oklahoma State, Maja? I mean, it's a pretty Oklahoma State, not close to Sweden. It's a long way. How'd you decide on that school?
There's been weirdly many Swedes at Oklahoma State. I mean, you have
Yeah.
Pernilla Caroline, Linnea Johansson, Karin Fordin, like so many going back many years. So, and they also had a Swedish coach when I committed to them, and I really liked him. So, it felt pretty natural to go there. I mean, it has a really good reputation, has
Yeah.
great practice facilities, so it just felt kind of natural to go there, even though it is very
Totally.
weird.
Did you ever feel like for your kind of going back to your game, you hit the ball really far, and do you feel like on our tour like that the course is set up better for you? I know you're a ball striker, like I've watched you on the range several times. How do you feel like about your distance? Like, is that something that you feel like is an advantage for you, or yeah?
I don't know. I feel like some courses are really good for it. Maybe it's so hard to
Chevron, but maybe not this week, right? Like
Yeah.
this week was more like you need it. Yeah, it's a bit more. The greens are small, like distance isn't your friend. But Chevron, probably it was.
Yeah,
right?
it was because I was hitting like 5 irons into a couple of par fours. So I can't imagine maybe what other people hit. But then you also have players like Ayaka, who relies so much on her hybrids and woods and putting. So I feel I don't feel like there's a theme where she plays really well and where she doesn't play well. So I don't really know
Yeah.
what the best thing is.
Do you like the Founders Course?
I've never played it.
So you're
is
you're in
interesting.
Orlando right now. During an off week, like how do you prepare? I know for me, like 1 week off is really tough because you feel like you have to rest and practice. What do you do during a week off when you only have one? Or do you often try to have the 2 weeks rather than just 1 week? Especially since you're not home, like you're in the United States.
Yeah, it's a little bit tougher, but I think I'm gonna take like 3 days off and just have to fix some stuff, just admin. So I think I'm gonna try to do that now, and then yeah, the last few days I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start practicing properly and try to get back into it. But I feel like last week I barely practiced, so and that worked anyway.
Hope said.
So
Yeah, Hope said during before you started that you said you weren't feeling too well, and how did you overcome that? Was that kind of a blessing in disguise because you had time to rest and recoup, or
it might be.
what happened?
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. I get a little bit car sick. So and we were going in vans, and like the further back I sit, the more car sick I get. But I didn't really think it was that because it was only like a 10-minute drive to the course. But Yeah, I was not feeling good. Like every day I got to the course and every time I got back to the hotel, like I was a little bit nauseous. I'm usually not like that,
Oh
but
no.
yeah. But then as soon as I stepped onto the range, I didn't even think about it anymore, so it was fine.
Good to go.
Yeah, perfect. Well, maybe you just need to start feeling nauseous every week.
Maybe I do.
That's your key.
Let's go out, be hungover.
Van shuttles from now on. Yeah.
Yeah, like maybe that maybe like gets rid of all the anxiety and the nerves or whatever. Like, okay, back to that. Like, do you feel nervous? Like, obviously you're playing some great golf. I don't remember a last time someone other than maybe Nelly finished like second 2 weeks in a row. And you finished, I think it was 40th, and then the week before tied for third. So like, you're playing some really good golf. What was my question?
Do you get nervous?
Where I was going? Oh yeah. Do you get nervous? Like, are you getting nervous for that? Like, are you getting nervous pre-round, post-round, looking at the leaderboard, not looking at the leaderboard? Or do you get nervous? Because I was nervous. I hadn't played in a month, and I got the sponsor invite last week. And the first couple holes, I had the jitters. I haven't felt jitters since I was like that, and since I was like 15 years old. And I was like, what is happening, Emma? Like, get it together.
Gosh. No, I don't think I get very nervous before rounds. But then, so it's an awful surprise when I get on the first tee and I start shaking. That's not a good feeling at all when I really wasn't expecting it. But, I mean, I think both on Saturday, I wasn't nervous Thursday, Friday, because it was just like, I played a major last week. That went fine. Right now it's just about enjoying it. So Thursday, Friday, I felt like I just kind of enjoyed it and I was very relaxed. And then Saturday, Sunday, front nine, like I think the front nine is tougher than the back nine on that course too. So
Same.
that was interesting, just walking up there and then being surprised with nerves on the first tee. But then I don't know. I felt like it was the same at Solheim Cup. Like in that, was it Friday morning? And me and Lynn lost the first 3 holes, and I played so bad because I was super nervous and I was very tense. And then I just thought, nah, screw it. This can't be my mind, like my brain for this whole week. So I just said, no, get it together. Just play as if you don't care. And then we started, the ball started rolling better and started hitting better shots. So,
Maja, we have a couple fan questions, and one of them was, what do you think the Solheim Cup score is going to be this year? Oh. And then I just want to talk a little bit about Solheim.
Oh man. What? Well, how many people watch from the U.S. compared to Europe? No, I think it's gonna be a tight match again. But I just think we'll come out on top. I mean,
what's the score?
I can't say anything different. So
what do you think the score is gonna be?
16-12.
Ooh.
Okay.
That's not that tight.
Banging. Wow.
I like that.
No, I think that we're gonna be hotter out the gates this time. So we'll just have a comfortable little. But yeah, it never feels good.
Right.
Obviously, like even if you walk into the singles with a big lead, anything can happen.
Yeah. Team Europe definitely kept everybody on their toes with how it started last year. But speaking of Solheim and also speaking of Olympics, it's a very big year this year. There's a lot of things going on. So how much are those two kind of circled on your calendar, and are you excited and just really hoping to obviously get into both?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to have, especially the Olympics as a goal, because it depends so much on what other people are doing.
Oh, true.
But it has been my goal, but then I kind of had to step away from it for a little bit to focus on what I'm doing right now. Because, it just got so overwhelming to think about it. And we had like Olympic themed camps with the Swedish team. And they were saying, this is where we're going to live. This is where we're going to do that. And then I'm like, I don't want to hear it because I'm not in it.
Right.
Like, yeah. They felt like they were talking to two people in this group of 20. So yeah, that was a little bit weird. What's the other question?
Just about Solheim, just how excited you are to hopefully, most likely, represent Europe again.
I'm so excited. I felt like it was the perfect mix of people last year, like the captains. So I think it's going to be, well, obviously it's the same plus one more this year. So that's going to be super fun to play for kind of the same captains again and just try to do that all over again, but a little bit better.
We have a little game that we're doing every week with our guests. Adam, you take it away.
So we do a little Instagram investigation where we find a throwback photo from your Instagram. Now, you didn't, Maya, have like too many like crazy ones, but you had an absolutely hilarious one when you were just 18, and I think this is a throwback photo of what has to be you as a wee baby, and it says, "I can't believe that this little unphotogenic piece of crap, aka me, turns 18 today. Responsibilities and expectations. Here I come." Tell me a little bit more about little Maya and this particular photo.
I don't remember anything. That's my brother in the picture.
Okay.
And that's our old TV room couch. It was the most comfortable couch, but maybe not the best looking. It was peak 2001 era or whatever that was.
Caption game strong.
Gosh, I don't really know.
Caption game was strong for an 18-year-old. You were dialed.
We need to bring that back.
Really? I was cringing hard. Man.
What?
I guess I'll try to.
Did your brother play golf, Maya?
Oh yeah, he still does. He works at a golf course now.
Oh, nice.
So was it something that you guys did together when you were growing up?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because there weren't many other people my age in general, but then the other girls my age, there weren't really any until I got a little bit older. So yeah, I was just hanging out with my brother and his friends.
When was the first time that you beat him, Maya? Do you remember?
I've always beaten him. Like there's, I actually don't know. It's not like I think we were pretty even. Yeah, I can't tell you.
Maya, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Maya. We love you. Good luck at Founders. Have a good week off, and we wish you the best. Get all those good vibes going, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks, Maya. Nice playing these last couple weeks. It's a heck of a start. Hopefully your summertime stretch goes just as well.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, well, that was great. Love that Maya got to join us. You'll be able to watch her at Cognizant Founders Cup. And speaking of that tournament, that is the next one on the docket. I just kind of want a little insight from you, Emma. You've played that course. What are your thoughts on it? What do people have to do well? Because we've seen a lot of repeat winners at that tournament. So what are your thoughts on it just in general? I
mean, first of all, it's thick rough, so you got to hit it straight. It's pretty long on some of the holes, but the main I don't even know the word I'm trying to say. The main obstacle of that golf course is the greens are super firm. They're very firm and they get firmer as the week goes on. So Thursday you might be like, oh yeah, this is fine. But then by Sunday, it's so firm you can hardly keep, like on the 18th hole, you can hardly keep it on the green. So, it's just an interesting week. It's a hard golf course. You usually have some kind of weather that week. I haven't looked at the forecast yet, but you usually have rain or cold or wind.
Yeah.
But the rough is very thick as well. And you really got to make sure you know where to miss the tee shots because you get blocked out. Like on number 5, I think it is. If you go on the right rough, you're okay. If you go on the left, you have to chip it short of the hazard. So there's just a lot of holes where you really have to be aware of like where the miss is, which as a player isn't often like what you want to think about, but you do have to think about it there. So it's a hard golf course. The scores are not that low there. And my pick is actually Jin Young Ko. I'm going to go. We just had a back-to-back with Hannah Green. I think that we can have a back-to-back with Jin Young Ko again. She finished 5 under this week, which I think was 4th place.
Yeah, she shot up the leaderboard the last day.
Yeah, she shot 5 under on Sunday, and I actually talked to her and her caddy, and she just seems like she's in a really good place. She told me that on
Good.
Saturday, she's like, it just kind of took me a minute to get back in the groove, and so now she's back in the groove, and she is playing Founders Cup. So I really think that she's kind of my pick for the week. What do y'all think? Who's your pick, Adam?
I'm going to pick the person that Jin Young beat in a playoff last year who won the year prior. I'm going to pick Minjee Lee. A bit of an up and down season for her. But I think like this is going to be kind of one of these weeks where she just kind of breaks out, gets back to a golf course that she's obviously had a ton of success at. You don't win and then lose in a playoff the next year without having something about the place, really vibe with your game. So I'm going to go with Minjee. What about you, Hope? What do you think? You think Nelly's going to go 6?
I mean,
I think you have to pick her.
Yeah.
Or
like,
at least insinuate that potentially there's a chance that Nelly could win 6.
I think there's absolutely a chance. I mean, there's nothing stopping her right now. And like you said, Emma, she got 2 great weeks off. She was chilling, and now she's probably like dialing in her game again. Not that she needs to do any dialing, probably, but I mean, she's won on multiple different golf courses, very different conditions. So who's to say she can't do it in New Jersey?
Until she
We might
stops.
just be saying that the rest of the year, yeah.
Then you'll have to do it in front of her.
Yeah. Oh, she knows.
And
Yeah.
she knows.
Oh, she
All right,
knows.
well, then-
She knows.
Yeah.
She knows.
She knows.
She's seen it.
She's
seen the clips.
She knows I'm a weirdo.
Oh, I love it.
So now we're going to do our quick nines. We've been doing this
Yeah.
every week where we just kind of like talk about different players. You might have to tell me if Hope knows how to say everyone's name on tour. I'm not the best. Hey, Ron Rue.
It's you. Here on you.
I love her. She's so sweet. She had an incredible rookie year last year, and she's been killing it this year. And I think the cool thing about her is on her Instagram just yesterday, she said, it's getting better. That's all she said. It's getting better. So I feel like when you
I
say
like that.
something like that, you know, as a player,
That's
like,
strong.
yeah, like you know that you're getting better and better and that you're really dialing in. I'm also going to say, just with the U.S. Open qualifiers this week, it's going to be insane to see who gets in, who doesn't. On how it works is like they have 2 cutoffs, 75 on Rolex rankings, not on CME. And so this week, there's one here in Seattle, there's one in California, there's one in Boston tomorrow. There's several qualifiers from now until Founders where we're going to find out who is going to be in the U.S. Open. And the purse there, the winner makes $2 million. So, like, it's a big event. And my last one, I think I had my 3 picks. I'm kind of changing it up. But Emily Pedersen, I think, she had a kind of a rough year last year. Then the Solheim Cup picked her to play in the Solheim Cup. Everyone thought that was crazy because they picked her over Albane and Jody Shadoff. They picked her, and she was ranked way lower than the other 2. However, since then, I don't know if she gained all of her confidence or what happened, but she has been playing so well. She just finished tied for 4th or tied for 8th this past week. And she's just been really trending as a player. And I see her and her caddy talking a lot after the rounds. And it really feels like to me that she's like dialed in right now. She's not thinking about the cut anymore. She's thinking about winning. Yeah. And that is a big difference as a player from going to like, hey, I want to make the cut. I want to make the cut to now, like, how do we win? Such a different mindset. I think she has a lot of confidence right now, and she's feisty. I mean, she's a feisty player. I would love to get her on this podcast at some point.
We will.
But she's trending, and I think that she's a player to watch this year for sure.
My 3 things real quick. Curious about who's hot, who's not, who really took the week to decompress, who maybe took the week to work on their game. Coming out of a week off, I'm really excited to see kind of who's going to be playing well right out of the gate. So that's going to be number 1. Number 2, shout out again, Grace Kim. I think I'm keen to see how she bounces back after her tough weekend at Wilshire. T10 last year at the Founders, so maybe some good vibes for Grace Kim coming into the week in New Jersey. And speaking of New Jersey, that's kind of my 3rd thing. golf in the Northeast. We've got back-to-back weeks in New Jersey, and then obviously the U.S. Women's Open in a couple weeks' time in Pennsylvania. So how will people start to adjust to the Northeast United States and the conditions and the kind of golf courses versus the events in Florida and across in Asia and California and Phoenix and et cetera. And now we're back up in the Northeast for the first of kind of 3 tournaments in a row. So those are my three quick things for Founders. Can't wait.
Love it.
Wow.
Okay.
He took that quick to a new level. Good job, Adam.
Yeah, that was good. I gotta live up to that. Okay. My number 1 is the fact that we are less than 100 days out to the Olympics. I am so excited. I love the Olympics. I have since I was a little kid, and now that I work in pro sports, I get so giddy about it every time. But I think it's been super interesting to kind of see how people are shifting up and down the Olympic standings. Right now, we have 4 Americans in the top 15. So I am very interested to see how that's going to kind of play out. And the cutoff is after KPMG. So we'll be giving updates on the podcast. But yeah, Olympics is inching ever closer, and I'm super, super excited about that. Number 2, I was actually going to also talk about Hey Ron You, but I want to talk about Maja in that as well. So they're kind of in that together. They've both had, I think, top 5 finishes back to back. That's incredible to do that 2 weeks in a row. So I think just them in general, I think they're 2 people we really need to keep an eye on moving forward, and both also trying to make their respective Olympic teams. So that kind of ties in with number 1. And number 3 is Esther Henseleit.
Yes.
She has been playing so well.
Good.
She had 2 back-to-back top 10 finishes, and guys, she is moving
Trending.
up those Solheim Cup rankings.
Yeah, she's
There is
playing
a
great.
shot that she makes that Solheim Cup team.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. I mean, I think there's just a lot of shifting up and down all of these rankings, the Rolex rankings, the CME Globe, everything.
We're just getting started, too.
We are just getting started. So, guys, I think that kind of
Wraps it up.
wraps it up
2
for
in the
us.
books.
Let's go. 2 in the books. Thank you again, everyone, for tuning in. Adam, Emma, it was a pleasure as always. And shout out Maja for joining us. We had some technical difficulties, but she is the best, and we wish her the best of luck. I don't know whether you are watching this or listening to this. You can watch on YouTube, lpga.com, and you can listen pretty much anywhere you get your podcasts. And with Founders Cup coming up, you're going to want to watch on Peacock and Golf Channel, and also ESPN Plus. We're doing featured groups that week. So many exciting
helping
things
again?
coming up. Maybe, potentially.
There we go.
So
Co-host
keep me
extraordinaire.
updated.
Yeah.
We'll see. She does it all, folks. But yeah, any final thoughts from you guys?
Y'all come back now, you hear? That's mine. See you later, guys. I got to go practice my US Open qualifier.